Hello everybody. With the colder weather looming now and winter really around the corner here, I thought that it'd be nice to do a tutorial of a beginner's winter scene. Something I don't normally do. Normally it's seascapes and one thing and another, as you know. But I thought I'd incorporate some mountains in this one. Just simple stuff really. And see how we go. See how you like it. Hope you paint along. It's a very limited palette and quite an easy painting. Thanks very much. Hello there. I'm Simon Hackney. Today we're going to be working on a small 10 by 12 canvas, and we're going to be working with a limited palette today. And I haven't done mountains for a while, so I'm figuring we might do some sort of night mountains scene. Okay, on the actual palette, all we've got so far, though I may add to it, is Prussian blue, phthalo blue, 2 lots of white, 1 for mixing, 1 for pure white, and black. That's all we've got so far. I've coated the canvas with black gesso, and I'm just about to give it a coat of liquid clear. Okay, and this is just a thin even coat of liquid clear. I haven't got any drawing map tape or anything like that, or a sketch or anything. I'm just going to go straight in and we'll paint and we'll see how it develops. Inch brush. Okay, I'm just going to go into some of the phthalo blue. Okay, you don't need masses of paint on this because it's only a small canvas. And I'm going to work this phthalo blue into the sky area. You won't be able to see this obviously because the canvas is black, so it will all look black to you at the moment. Did I say this was phthalo blue? I meant actually this is Prussian blue, sorry. So this is Prussian blue. This is the darker of the two blues. And I'm just going to actually work it all the way down the canvas because I don't know what's going to be happening in the foreground yet. There might be some water going on, there normally is with me somewhere, but we'll see. So there we have that. So we've got a nice coat of phthalo blue on there. I'm just washing the brush out. Most important, as you know. Okay, into that, here and there, maybe here somewhere, I think in the middle of the sky area somewhere up there. I'm just going to add a little, just here and there, a little bit of the phthalo blue. So we've got a black canvas, liquid clear, Prussian blue, and then just a very, very little bit of the phthalo blue. Okay, now going into white, just a little on the brush, not masses, just a small amount of white on the brush. Starting here somewhere, I'm going to start adding white here, and you'll see that as I do, this all blends with the colour that's already on the canvas. And I'm working away from that, so I'm trying to keep this as our brightest area. Okay, Okay, so far so good, I think. Beautiful colour. I love Prussian blue and phthalo blue and white mixed. They're just fantastic colours, I think. Some of my very favourites, as anyone who watches me already knows, no doubt. With a clean brush, clean dry brush. Okay, so I'm back into an inch brush here. I'm just going to lightly blend, very lightly blend the sky area. So we've got an area up here now. It's beginning to look more sky-like. Okay, and I've just done it generally on a slight angle, so it's running down the canvas on a very slight angle. Okay, and then down here, when I get to the bottom of the picture, I'm actually changing to long horizontal strokes because I've got a feeling that there might be some water or something going on down here. Where to go from here? I think we need to start describing something, maybe start sketching out something. I'm going to take a small flat hogshair brush and I'm going to take a little bit of the Prussian blue, a little bit of the Prussian blue on the end of the brush, and I think here somewhere could be a mountain of some description. Maybe there, maybe another little one in the background there, and perhaps some sort of hills, foothills here. Is that showing up on the camera? I hope you guys can see that. And maybe coming down to a lake, maybe. Okay, so we've got a very dark colour, virtually black. And then over here, I'm just going to roughly brush in some sort of mountain area. Okay, now when you use your brush strokes on here, try and imagine the contours of the land coming down, so it's following the contours of the land. Okay, so there's one. Now I think we'll have the main event here. That's going to come down across that one. So what I'm giving us here is different planes at different depths within the landscape, so that when you look at the painting, it's not just flat, hopefully. Well, we'll see when it's finished, but hopefully it won't be. It's not just flat, and you'll actually be able to see depth in the painting. Okay. Now these are just preliminary sketches of these. Just blocking in the colour, just to see what happens, where we go, what's going to happen with the light, etc. Okay. Right, we've got something going on there now. So now, mixing it up on my palette, I'm going to take some of the Prussian blue like so. Bring it over there. Little bit of white. And I'm going to leave that marbled. You can see there that it's streaky, it's marbled. And then on the edge of the knife, I'm going to take a roll of paint. And we're going to go back here and start to form our mountain. Now, phthalo blue and a little of the white. Giving us a paler marbled effect paint, okay? Now bear in mind I'm not mixing that so that it's completely just a uniform colour, okay? Leave it marbled like this. And take a roll of the paint on the edge of the knife, okay? And our light's going to be coming from here somewhere. So just here, very gently, very, very gently, I'm just going to draw the knife down across the mountain. Very gently. Let the actual paint do this. When you do this really gently, the paint will break under the edge of the knife. Okay, so the actual paint, you can see these little black marks here where you can see the canvas through the paint. And what's happening is, where you're being so gentle with it, the paint actually breaks under the knife. You don't want to scrape the knife down it. It's got to be a very, very, very gentle when you do it. Okay, with our 1-inch brush, I'm going to go into the white. Get some white and a little touch of the blue. On the brush. Now I've actually tapped the paint up into the bristles. Okay, so through here now, I'm going to tap just a gentle layer of mist going through there, and just tap something misty, little wisps going on around the base of our mountain there. And with my softening brush, I'm just going to pull this out and just move it around. Very, very gently blending it into the canvas to give us a nice misty area there that the mountain's peeping through. Soften it up like so. Whenever you use your blending brushes, always wash them immediately. For my mind, they're the most useful pieces of equipment that I've got in my whole brush selection, and anyone that's in my work will know that I use these all the time. Just get a roll of black paint on the edge of the knife. We're going to come up here and put in some black on the shadow side of the mountain here. Right, so I hope that's been being picked up on the camera. I hope you can see that. Okay, when you put highlights on anything, whether it be waves, in foliage, mountains, whatever, you must remember that to show the light you need that absolute dark on there. You know, a lot of people when they're learning, they'll sort of blend it all out and mush it together. You need that dark. This is what gives you the whole feeling of depth and what have you. So back into the knife, and some of the phthalo blue, a little of the white, just loosely mixed here. A bit more white on this one, I think. There we go. So we've got like a very marbly type of paint, and with a knife just drag a roll of that paint onto the edge of the knife, and then very gently, as I said before, we're going to draw this knife down the canvas. Okay, very gently, so that the paint breaks under the knife. Like so. And then on the back side of this mountain, we're going to have some white and Prussian blue to give us a darker shadow colour. Okay, so just here and there. We're going to add some shadow on the back side of this mountain, like so. Okay, I hope you're all seeing that. Any comments, of course, please leave me a comment. It would be lovely to actually know there's some people watching these. And if you like them, of course, then please, you know, hit the subscribe button and give them a thumbs up. If you'd like to be kept informed of what's going on with me, then just press the bell next to the subscribe button and what have you here on YouTube, and you'll be informed when whenever a new one comes up. Okay, so we've got that. Now then, with my softening brush, I'm just very gently going to blend some of that out. Very, very, very gently, gentle strokes, gentle brush strokes, just to give me some sort of sense of where the actual land is falling. Okay, like so. Right, good. So far, so good. I know one of the ladies that follows my work, Brenda, she has a go at mountains, one thing and another. Her work is really improving, so it's lovely to see. And I thought this one might be of interest to her. You know, it might let her have a look at mountains from another point of view, as it were. Right, now we've got some mist in the background. I think we should have another layer of mist, maybe down here in the foreground. So we're just going to take some white on the inch brush, okay, and just tap in layer of mist running through the image here. And with a softening brush, I'm just going to go up and I'm going to blend this area of mist here, just so that it sets it back into the painting a little bit. It's not so in your face, as it were. A lot more subtle area of mist there going on. Subtle layer of mist. There we go. And that's pushed the mountains back into the painting. Okay. Like so. Now, we're going to put some sort of hills here in the foreground. Okay, so I'm just going to take some Prussian blue, black, blend them on the brush about 50-50, so it's more or less black really. Okay, and then here somewhere we'll just have a range of foothills, maybe here, like this. Okay. And let's get some more black in there. This is a new tube of black and it's a bit oily actually. So may have to go back in here with a knife and just make this a little bit heavier. But we will see anyway. And I don't know if I said, I mean these are oil paints, of course. This isn't acrylic, this is oil. And for me personally, just my own personal opinion, out of the two, I prefer oils to acrylic. Maybe it's just because I'm more used to them. I don't know really, but for me, I prefer these. The only snag with these, of course, is you've got a much longer drying time. But the massive advantage is that you've got much more open time, much more time to actually work with what you're doing. Now I'll just put the knife in some black here. I'm just going to actually draw this across the canvas there, just to give us an impression of some sort of hilly area coming down into the foreground. Right, okay, the light's coming that way, so you've seen me paint a moon before, those of you that follow me. Okay, what we're going to do, I'm going to get a blob of paint on the end of my finger, like so, and then here we're going to have a moon. Alright, now over that I'll get a fan brush. Okay, time one of those appeared, I think. I'm going to dip the fan brush into Prussian blue and across here, so across our moon, just using the edge of the fan brush. I'm just going to put in some little indication of a cloud. Okay, nothing too extreme, nothing too heavy, it's just lightly scumbled on. It's not done in any particular pattern. In fact, the more random the better. Alright, so we've got that. My favourite brushes, fan brushes, as you all know. Now with our small round hog's hair brush, I'm just going to blend the bottom areas of this cloud. Like so. I'm just blending them into the work. Okay. Give that a wash. Now I'm just going to fluff this out very, very, very gently now. Just give this cloud a little bit of movement just on the edges, like so. And with a very, very fine fan brush, I'm going to go into the white. And just here and there, I'm going to add just a hint of light to the top of the cloud. Just a hint. Round hog's hair. Once more, make sure it's nice and dry. You don't want solvent or thinners on it when you do this. Now very gently, I'm just going to gently just tap and blend the bottom of that white area into the cloud, like so. Back in with our blending brush, and as I said before, very, very, very gently just give this cloud some shape. Like so. Okay. If anybody would like to purchase this when it's done, it will be on my website. And of course, those of you in my Facebook art group will see it. And also those of you that like the Simon Hackney art page on Facebook as well. So, right, so far so good. Okay. I think we'll have a few distant trees, something going on, maybe a few fir trees here. So for that I'm going to get some white and a little of the phthalo blue and a little of the black and make a pale bluey grey colour. Okay, and then just here somewhere I'm just going to tap in the indication of a few little distant fir trees. I think we'll have a couple of fir trees over here growing. So taking the Prussian blue and some black just on the fan brush. I think here maybe we'll just have an inkling of a fir tree or two. Growing there. Okay, so this is going to be the trunk area there. I've just tapped it in. Now I'm just literally using the corner of the fan brush here, just working down backwards and forwards, just to give the indication of a fir tree or two there. Okay, that's the dark bit done. Now with the edge of the knife, I'm just going to get a roll of paint, and it'll be a marbled mix of white and phthalo blue, and again just a little roll on the edge of the knife there, and I'm just going to give a hint just here and there, just by touching it to the canvas really. Of a couple of tree trunks there going up the actual fir tree, like so. And then with our fan brush, we're going to take some of that same colour, bit of white in there, so we've got like a marbled phthalo blue and white on the actual fan brush, and we're just going to give just a hint of some frost or something, maybe snow, whatever, growing on these trees here. Like so. So they're quite distant, don't need too much detail on those. Right, with a flat brush, I'm going to go in some black, Prussian blue, and then through here we're going to have some sort of land area there. And of course the same here, because this needs something to grow on. I'm literally just dabbing this in, so it gives us some sort of landy type area there. Have a little bit of light over the top of this, where the light would be shining down on it, like so. Okay, so that's okay. Now we're going to take the actual blending brush. We're just going to blend this down And again, following the contours of where we would like our land to be. Okay, that's not looking too bad. So far so good. And I'm still trying to aim these pictures, you know, at beginners. I'm trying to keep them simple-ish. Okay, I think we'll use a round filbert. So with another brush here, we've got a round filbert here. I'm going to go into some of that blue and white colour that we have mixed up. And just down here, I'm just going to put the indication just using the edge of the brush here. There's some bushes growing, something like that. Something like that. Okay. Very frosty. A very frosty scene, I'm thinking. Wash the brush. I'm going to actually go along here, I'm going to pull that out. Like so. And this will give us like some sort of snowy area leading up to these bushes or whatever. Okay, and once again, of course, just following the contours of where you want the land to be. With my inch brush, you've got to start making some decisions. I'm going to go into the white, just dip the tips of this into the white here. And I'm just dabbing some paint into the end of the bristles. So the moon is here. So we're going to come down here and we're going to just put some horizontal lines across our painting. Now I've just gone back in with the fan brush and I'm just following the actual contours of the land. Just giving this a slightly more cold, snowy feel. Bringing it down. Right, there we go. And that's brought that down onto the ice or the lake or whatever it is there. I'm going to take the inch brush here and I'm going to pull down and then very gently across. Just a little dark shadow along this edge somewhere. Like so. Dark shadows maybe here. Like so. In with the brush, pull these down just to give us a hint of something being reflected here. just to give us a stronger hint of light here. Okay, horizontal lines. Running across our lake. I'm just going to get some of that white and pale blue and just add a little more something going on here. A bit more something, a bit more land area of some description going on there. Maybe one or two little pale bushes. Like so. Maybe a hint of a waterline in there. And there. Okay, that's it. That is it. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope you like it. I absolutely love these colours. Definitely some of my favourite colours. A simple night scene. Quite easy, I think. Quite easy, this one. Let me know what you think. There's the palette, and of course we've done this whole painting with 4 colours. Prussian blue, phthalo blue, white, black. All that's left to do, of course, is add a signature. Okay, have a signature over this side, I think. And there we have it. I hope you've enjoyed this painting. My website details and Facebook details will be in the information below somewhere. So please click on the link, head on over there. If you'd like to leave any comments on the website, please do, or any comments on here would be much appreciated. Thank you for joining me. I'm Simon Hackney. Until the next time.